Hello, sunshine. Welcome to That Photography Girl podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Traxler, and I'm here to help you get visible, get leads, get bookings, and become that photography girl. This episode is brought to you by Showit. Showit is my website host domain, and in my opinion, the only right choice for photographers, just because it's fully customizable, it's best for SEO, super easy to duplicate pages and turn them into guides and hidden pages and landing pages and redirect pages. You'll see in this episode why I think that it's the best choice and it is the easiest to use. But before we dive in, I'm going to give you my hot take of the day because I was just thinking about this. I'm prepping to photograph a doubleheader this weekend, or a 2-day wedding coverage, I guess you could say. And I'm just packing all my gear and I'm realizing that I only shoot with one camera body at a wedding. Like I always have. I've actually tried shooting with 2 camera bodies before on a harness, and I just cannot do it. Every time that I've worn a harness, a double harness, the 2 times, I've always broken and shattered a lens. One of the times being when the bride was walking down the aisle. Like it's one of my cringiest stories either. But honestly, just wearing a harness and shooting with 2 bodies makes me overstimulated, and I don't feel like I can move around as good. I've tried it and I just don't like it. I have recently, within the last couple of years, switched to the 28-70, and I use that for most of the wedding day too. So I feel like that's just given me more of a variety, adds more creativity and variety to my galleries. So I used to only shoot with prime lenses, so maybe that'd make more sense. But no, I just shoot with one camera body, and you can give me all the harness, double body strap harness suggestions. Please do. I'd be more than willing to try them. But I think I'm going to stand with the fact of I just shoot with one camera body on a wedding. And that's what I like. Okay. That's my thought for the day. But okay, now we're going to get onto the good stuff of this episode today because this is a really good one. I talk a lot about funnels, and I'm going to talk over a couple different funnels that I think are really, really important for photographers to have in their business or in their workflow and set up. And the first one being from your contact form to your redirect page. I know I've had an episode talking about a redirect page. If this is new for you, it's a new concept. It's basically the redirect link that people get sent to after they fill out your contact form. Because a lot of times, I'm going to use HoneyBook, for example. It doesn't matter, HoneyBook, Dipsado, whatever you use. As soon as you fill out your contact form, you usually just get a pop-up little message. Sometimes you even have to scroll up and it just brings you to a white page and it just says, "Thanks for submitting. I'll reply within 24 to 48 hours," or whatever. And honestly, what that does is it completely just leaves people hanging. And now what? They're inquiring at this exact time and exact moment, but now they have to wait 24 to 48 hours for you to respond, which you are living life. You are photographing weddings. You're hanging out with your family. You're out with friends. We as entrepreneurs, we put this pressure on ourselves because you hear this advice all the time of respond as quick as you can to inquiries. That's how you're going to book more weddings. It's like, please, I do not want to hear that ever again. I get it and I understand, but that's exhausting. We as photographers already have so much on our plate that is just no, I don't think so. I want to help photographers take things off of their plate, not add to it and not add more stress. And so by having this redirect page, it redirects them directly to the exact next steps that they need to do. Whether that has your pricing on there, your email, expectations, turnaround time, the actual link. And in my opinion, the only call to action on this page and the main point of it should be for them to schedule a phone call with you. And this has been so, so powerful in just telling them what the next steps are, because sometimes I'm away from my phone, obviously, or I'm at night with my kids, putting my kids down or whatever. And by the time I get back to my phone, I'm like, oh, I got an inquiry. Oh, they also scheduled a phone call. So it's like they didn't have to wait for me to respond to them for them to book and schedule a call. It's already there. That's super, super powerful. And I even just think about this in the terms of someone told you right here in this moment that they want to work with you and you're just not there and you're not available. And so I think having a redirect page is super, super powerful. I know I touched base on this before, but I actually have a redirect page template that is such a good resource. I reference this all the time because I will shout it from the rooftops. I think it is the absolute best resource that you could get in your business. And it's my exact template that I use for my exact redirect page. And it's on my shop and it's super cheap. So I'll make sure to link it in the show notes for this episode, but I think it's really, really powerful. Okay, and then another funnel that you can do and have in your business, and this is more on like the lead gen aspect, is to have like a freebie funnel set up. And then that way you can promote it on your social medias, on your Instagram, have it as a pinned funnel on your Instagram so that you're always generating leads from it. And what you're going to do, it goes to a landing page that you're also going to be growing your email list at the same time. You're growing your email list and you're getting leads. So it brings them to a landing page. They sign up for their name and their email. And then from there, they directly get redirected to that exact link that it is. And they also get triggered into nurture sequence with your emails. So they're also going to get it into their inbox, but they're also going to get directly redirected to the actual resource they were wanting. Anyways, a good example that I use for this for freebie is just your pricing guide. Honestly, if you don't have any other freebie to do, if you do have a freebie, you can do this with this. But if you don't, just take your pricing guide, have this be the freebie. That way, when it like leads to the landing page, they sign up for their name and their email. And as soon as they hit submit on that, they get redirected right away to your actual pricing guide. And it has all the information there. And then the only call to action on your pricing guide should be for them to book a call with you or to reply back which package they want to book. And then also like pick whichever one that you want. I personally like to do the phone call because I like to do a phone call. And then what you can do as well, they're also getting an email. And in that very first welcome email, they're getting the pricing guide again so that they have it again. And then the only call to action in that one is to reply back to you which package feels most aligned to them. So you're kind of getting two different call to actions at separate points. And so that's kind of nice to have just because I feel like that's more aligned with when they get it right away. They maybe want to book a call. When they have it in their inbox and thought about it a little bit more, maybe they just want to tell you which package they want to book. But I think a welcome sequence funnel should consist of at least 4 emails. That email number 1 is going to be that instant thank you, that confirmation, that welcome, the freebie. You're going to be giving them that freebie. And it's like that instant gratification. Email 2, you're going to share maybe a little bit more about your process and your approach and who you are, your brand story, your mission statement, all of that stuff and why it's important, kind of bridging that gap a little bit. Email 3 maybe is you're tying in some social proof and that brand recognition, where you've been featured, some testimonials, having a little activation in there too of this is what I help my clients with, and this is what happens when you don't have me as your photographer. This is what happens. I see when you don't book me, when you don't do it this way. I have a little bit of activation in there. Email 4 is going to be that next clear step. Again, those call to actions, if maybe they haven't taken them yet, maybe to schedule a phone call or to email you back which package feels most aligned. Having a sequence like this, it just builds trust. And I usually set it out where email number 1 is going to be sent immediately after. Email number 2 is going to be sent either 1 or 2 days after email 1. And then for same thing with email 3 and 4, I like to space them about 1 or 2 days apart from each other so that it's close enough that they don't forget about you, but not too long that it doesn't convert, because the longer it takes, the longer the funnel, like less likely it would be converting. So I like to kind of have it like short and quick and tangible that way. And then also they just get added to your email list so they're a part of your nurture emails that you're sending out maybe on a monthly basis. Having a sequence like this, again, it builds trust, it keeps them warm, it keeps them engaged and connected to you personally until you actually have that phone call with them and you actually think about it. And an analogy that I like to think about with your welcome sequence funnel with this is kind of like Netflix. Think about why we binge a Netflix series. Because they kind of like leave us hanging at the end of an episode. And then they also give the option, or they just autoplay the next episode right away. And sometimes they even have that little button that says, the next episode will play in 10 seconds or whatever. And when you're engaged, you cannot click that okay fast enough. Like you don't wait for that 10 seconds. You click okay, next episode. You want to play it. That keeps you on your seat. You're ready for the next thing. Think about that your emails should also work in that same way. Keep that story going, keep the clients hooked, keep them engaged, and keep them connected. And then the last point I kind of want to make with this funnel situation is that you can have multiple top of funnels, like multiple lead generations. and that you're just constantly funneling people to, but you also want to be funneling them down and you want to be funneling them in the right way. So think about this, your Instagram posts or your Instagram bio. That call to action should be, it's going to depend, but especially I'm going to use your bio, for example. That should be to your inquiry form because especially if people come across your posts and they consume your content and they go to your profile, they want a really, really easy way to inquire with you and book with you. And I'm not talking like don't send them on a hunt to find it, like give the exact form. I could do I think I have done a whole other episode on what to have on your contact form. Maybe that will be another one because that's going to play a big role too, but have that funnel to your inquiry form. And then same thing, like I said, know when to have to your website, to your contact form, to a phone call scheduler, and then also the call to action to reply which email package feels most aligned to you. But I say like you want one clear, consistent path for all these leads to fall so they don't fall through the cracks, essentially. Because if you think about it, really the only call to action we really want people to take as a photographer is we want them to fill out our contact form. We want them to get in our inbox and then we can figure out what to do with them there. And it's very similar to like driving down a highway with lots of exits that lead people to different destinations and all of these things. You want to essentially think like you don't want people going all to when you take an exit here, you're going to go to this town, and you take an exit here and you're going to go to this town. You don't want a million different destinations. Everyone on that highway is going to the same place and they're going in the same direction and they want the same thing. So you can have different exit points of the journey so that people can get off when it feels right to them. That's just the point of serving people where they're at with their buyer types, with their how they make purchasing decisions and what they need, whether they're fast action or slower, they need more time to make those decisions. All those exits it's all leading in the same direction, but all those exits are leading to one thing. It's your contact form, then maybe your phone call scheduler, then which package to select, then make the payment, then sign the contract. Every single touch point should push people toward that inquiry form, then that redirect page, then that nurture sequence. That's how you build that consistency instead of waiting on the algorithm and just relying on the algorithm to push people to the place that you want to bring them. So to wrap that up, everyone, they're going in the same direction. It's okay to have different exits, but you want that destination, that end destination to be the same. Okay. Before we wrap up this episode, that girl of the day goes to Laura, who is crazy enough almost fully booked for her 42 spots for her holiday and fall minis. 42 is actually so insane. She said that she hardly booked any last year, and this year she's almost full. So that's insane. And she's actually a photographer in my coaching program as well. So I love to see this and I love to cheer her on. She is absolutely crushing it. Let's show her some love that way. And if you would love to see yours featured, your win, DM me your takeaway, your win of the week, whatever you have to be featured. I really, really want to highlight as many people as the girl of the week on the podcast. So definitely DM me and let me know. But here's like a little recap of what we talked about today with the funnels. You want to have your contact form. You want to have that redirect page. You want to have your welcome sequence, that automated welcome nurture sequence. And you want to have all traffic leading back into that one funnel, which is your contact form. This is the system that kind of takes you from chasing leads and going out and trying to get new inquiries to having inquiries come to you because you are like, again, making that top of funnel really wide and then bringing people down in the correct way and how they should be. Okay, well, thank you so much for hanging out on That Photography Girl. If you loved this episode, screenshot it and share it to your stories and tag me at Rachel Traxler, and I will also share the love in return. If you're also ready to grow your business even more, expand and network, come hang out with us inside of That Photography Group, which is our Facebook community for photographers, again, to connect, network, and just grow together and share our wins and all of that. But until next time, keep shining, keep showing up, and keep being that photography girl.